Welcome back to another episode of Hammering Down. I'm your host, Kaylor Hodges, and I'm hoping you're having a great day. This episode is being recorded just one day after I did the Hartford post-match reactions, so that tells you just about how far behind I am right now in recording things. Oh well, we'll get over it. I just want to go ahead, and if you missed this last episode, or if you haven't caught up yet, I'm working with Olive in York. I'm working on getting a little specialized kit. I'm going to try to make the hammering down part of it pretty understated, and that way the kit itself is the main focus. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. And also this Saturday we are doing the second live show, and it's going to be at Ghost Town Brewery, and I believe it's at 6:30. Is that the game is at 7:30 Eastern time? So yes, it will be starting at 6:30 Central time. So get out to Ghost Train, have a great time. If you can't make it out for whatever reason, just throw on the live stream and play it alongside of the TV broadcast. So yeah, thank you all for jumping on that. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from that, so thank you. But you don't really care about what I have going on in my personal life. It's either Legion or bust. We could care less about the nerdy redneck that is on the microphone right now. Um, but I don't know everything about the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Even though it's basically Legion South, we don't know everything about them. So I've brought a new guest on, someone that I've listened to some of their stuff before, and I really enjoy it. Obviously, last time I talked to Dan and I've talked to John Morrissey, they were the Tampa Bay guys. But guess what? There's a lot of good creators down there, including Mr. James Knoll of, let's see if I get this right, Rowdies, Bucks, Lightning, Rays.
That's right. Yep, you got it.
Yeah. I had to guess on the Rays and Rowdies. I was like, we're just going to put the Rowdies first because, I mean, if for this podcast, it will be. James,
I like that. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I've had a relatively good day. My dad is Scottish, so I have grown up supporting the Scottish national team, and they just beat Spain somehow.
2-0, right?
Yeah, 2-0. So I am over the moon, you could say.
Yeah, I mean, first time since the 80s. I mean, McTominay goes in there and gets his brace, and what a match. I mean, I can't tell if I don't want to take this away from you, but I can't tell if Spain's fallen off or Scotland's gotten a lot better, or if it's just both.
I think that, in all honesty, this was probably the best roster that Scotland put out, but it was definitely not the best roster that Spain could have put out. And, the combination just worked out today. It was probably also a little bit of, maybe some disgusting Scottish weather that the Spanish aren't used to, but we'll take advantage.
Kind of speaking of disgusting weather, I mean, Tampa Bay and Birmingham are kind of the kings of disgusting weather. I mean, it's always raining, constantly raining. It's always storming, lightning galore. Good thing for you guys, Al Lang is no longer a baseball field. It's just a soccer pitch, and you don't have to have rain delays, or not that many anyway. So that's nice.
Yeah, no, for sure. The renovations, which they do seemingly every year, but the renovations that they do to make it more soccer specific and make it more amenable to fans, because it is an older stadium, that's definitely true, but it's got a charm about it. It's got some stuff that you could probably say needs a little bit of work. No sugarcoating that, but otherwise, I still think that it's a pretty good place, and I think that it's also a lovely location. I think like a lot of millennials have developed this urbanist mindset, and the fact that it's downtown and you can reach it by our new public infrastructure down there, it's kind of got a lot going for it at the moment.
Every time that we play, and I'm trying to remember before I say this and embarrass myself. Every time we play Tampa Bay, it always reminds me of it's a St. Petersburg joke that I heard years ago. And it's so stupid. It's an eye roller. No one laughs, and I'm going to tell it anyway, so you can and everybody else listening can promptly log off and stop listening. It's a long one, so I'm just going to throw it out there. So it was basically two guys, or it was a couple walking down the street of St. Petersburg. Where was I? I'll cut that out. No, I won't. So this couple was walking down the sidewalk of St. Petersburg, and it's close to Christmas time, and it's starting to get a little bit chilly out. It's chilly as St. Petersburg can be anyway, and it suddenly starts to rain or precipitate anyway. And the man looks at his wife and says, honey, it's starting to rain. And the wife, silly old wife, says, I think this is snow. It's cold out here. This is snow. And he said, absolutely not. This cannot be snow. We all know what snow looks like. And this has to be rain. So they walk up to a police officer standing on the side of the street, and it's a officer well known around town named he's from Russia, and his name is Officer Rudolph. And they say, Officer Rudolph, is it snowing or raining? And Officer Rudolph says, comrade, it's obviously raining. And so the man smiles and looks at his wife and says, you see, dear, Rudolph the Red knows rain, dear.
Gotcha. I see it. I see it.
Yeah. I wasted like 2 minutes of everybody's life, and that's fine. This is my
But no eye rolls. No eye
no
rolls.
eye rolls. If you're driving, please don't roll your eyes too hard. But yeah, so moving on from that, I don't know how to segue from that other than just say it's okay to be disappointed in me. This just kind of explain the kind of world around Tampa Bay sports, because it's admittedly weird, right? Because you are Rowdies, Bucks, Lightning, Rays. And it's always talked about how the Rays never have anybody at their field, same ownership as the Rowdies, but they also have one of the highest TV, like they get the most people watching on TV than any other team in MLB. You get the Bucks, who were really good just not too long ago, winning a Super Bowl, being very competitive. And it's still just kind of a weird vibe because it just kind of came out of nowhere. The Lightning are arguably the best team in the NHL. Again, the Bruins are actually really good this year, but still, you have a lot of great, like Vasilevsky still plays for them, and is up there with the best goalie of all time. Really good team there. And then you have the Rowdies, and these are a lot of things like hockey existing and baseball existing but not thriving, but it is thriving. And the Bucks being whatever the Bucks are, and then the Rowdies have been this one singular strand of consistency. They are just consistent year in, year out. They're going to be competitive, and they're packing their stadium, which is unusual for Tampa Bay. What makes the Rowdies so different?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So if I took each one of those by turn, we might be here a little while, but I think that it all comes down to mostly for each individual team. I think that there is an important factor that comes from the ownership groups because, like you said, the Lightning do have a very good team. They are obviously competitive. I think that helps. Additionally, we do have a lot of people in Florida and Tampa Bay area as well who actually come from northern states where hockey might be more prevalent anyway. So that makes sense. With the Bucks, I think that it's kind of an anomaly when they are successful, because growing up as I have, most of the time they sucked, and then they also happen to win two Super Bowls in the last 20 whatever years.
Yeah.
So that was that. Yeah, those seem like the anomalies. With the Rays and the Rowdies being the same ownership group, it's a little interesting. So the Rays play in St. Pete as well, which is on the western side of the bridge, obviously. And the stadium, I think it's just not in a place where it's conducive to people wanting to go there. Now, it is actually also considered downtown St. Pete. There's like a cutoff at the highway, and it's before the cutoff, so it would be like also downtown, but it's not. I don't know. If you put them if Al Lang were still a baseball stadium and that's where the Rays played, they would probably be able to sell it out every week, because Al Lang isn't a gigantic place on its own. But with the Rowdies, I think that there is that bit of history, because we do have some number of fans who are from, they went to Rowdies games in the past, like in the old NASL days. And the Rowdies the Rowdies were an NASL franchise that had a team, I think the latest out of all of them that existed. Like, they still had an indoor team well after the NASL had disbanded. So there is still some, local recognition of the name. The name itself actually does mean something. But luckily, I think that it is a good enough size that we can fill it every week for the most part, and still look good on TV, so to speak. But it's also, I think it is in a good location, and I think that it is another final thing is that, like, soccer is the number one sport played by children across America, and then they'll also play another sport, and some of them might specialize in that other sport as they grow older. But the Rowdies are, a very family-friendly atmosphere. There are always tons and tons of families. There are whole teams that are there, like, every single week. So I think that there are a lot of factors that go into that. And then, with the Rays being not even when we're not even sure that they're going to stay in the area, I think that also impacts fans. Luckily, we haven't heard anything like that from the ownership group with the Rowdies. I think that it would be a lot harder, just because of the way that the different leagues are set up. So I think that all of that is very important to consider when we're looking at who's going to show up to which games. And for the Rays, I think if it were just in a better place, that would be better. But I don't honestly know where that'll be, because they're trying to put them in a part of Tampa that I hold dear, which is Ybor City, and I would prefer they not tear it down and put a stadium there. So I'd be great, I'd be great seeing them stick around, but it'd be great also to see them in a downtown Tampa setting. But like I said, I just don't know what that is. The Rowdies, so far, for what they are, have nailed it. And if we don't ever get up to, the top divisions of American soccer, then I think that we'll be perfectly fine within the settings that we have.
Yeah, and I know for Legion fans, this was one of those. The Rowdies are a weird team for us, right? Because except for Atlanta United 2 and Memphis, they were our closest team, even though it's so far away.
Yeah.
And this is when we came into the league, Tampa Bay, they weren't quite the juggernauts that they've been for the last 3-ish years, but they were still really freaking good, right? And we knew that. But Legion have always been a team that have played Tampa Bay well. We not a bogey team, because they've beaten us, I believe, more times, than we've beaten Tampa. But it's always a 1-goal game. I don't think any of the games have been an actual blowout. It's always been a 1-goal game, a draw, one way or the other. It always feels like it's on the brink of falling either way. And it's a team that whenever it comes out, it's always like, okay, Tampa Bay is going to be a team. They have talent. They have good coaching staff. They do what they do. But how's Legion going to stack up? And it seems like every year it doesn't really matter who's on the pitch. Both teams are just going to play each other well. Is that kind of the same idea that's kind of shared in Rowdy Land?
Honestly, I would say so. I mean, Birmingham has developed a reputation as a team that is not like you said, not a pushover or anything like that. It's never a blowout. It's a tough team, and you guys have, I think, built on that this year. Obviously, right now Birmingham is top of the table in the East, so it's not, by accident, of course. And while we're languishing at the bottom, but yeah, it's based on different games that we've played where it has been close, and I think also, like, if you follow the league pretty well, then you're going to know that there's talent in Birmingham. Like, there are names that you're familiar with, and even those names you're not familiar with, you get a couple minutes of them. You're like, okay, I get what they're about. They're pretty good. But I guess for the casual fan, they might not have as good an idea. Like, Birmingham might not stand out like, I guess, Louisville City, but I think that Louisville City stands out, among teams across the whole of the league. It's not just even in the Eastern Conference or anything like that. So if we can rival that, that'd be pretty good. But yeah, I would say the Birmingham specifically is they have their reputation, and it's certainly not a bad one. And I think that also, if I'm kind of reading the online tea leaves, I guess, and kind of reading the trends as well, it's also that Birmingham is generally going up. Everything seems to be pretty cool. I went to the 2022 season home opener, which was in Birmingham,
Yep.
because my sister is a soccer coach, and she was coaching in Birmingham at that time. I actually forget the school, but excuse me, it was in Montgomery, so it was actually away from there. But we went to visit her, and then we drove down to Birmingham for the game. We made a whole weekend out of it. That was pretty fun. And I was joking, on the sideline with the other Birmingham fans that were around us, and everybody was telling me roughly the same story. It was cool that they were in this downtown stadium, which I did like the area and everything. That was awesome. It seemed, a little cavernous for a second division team, but that's going to be the same pretty much. Hell, MLS teams have to deal with that when they're playing in Gillette Stadium. So,
Yeah.
it's going to be the same. But yeah, otherwise it was really cool, and it was a fun atmosphere. And I think that everything that Birmingham is doing is just like, it's all reputation builders. It's everything is on the positive trend.
You know, let's kind of talk about, I guess, you kind of mentioned it a little bit, and it was the fact that Legion are top of the table after 3 games. I mean, I don't typically table watch until we're safely 10 matches into the season, because I understand that it's just less than a third, but after 3 matches, you never know what you're going to get with some of these.
Sure.
Um, um, and you kind of mentioned it. Tampa Bay, if you are going to table watch, is not finding themselves in a very fun spot, with only 2 points out of 3 matches, especially 2 matches that Rowdies fans really believe that they should have won in Indy, which they were hurt by a penalty call that happened 5 yards outside the box, and then conceding late, or no, sorry, having to score late against Orange County in order to get the draw. And you can look at both of those matches, kind of going back and watching them, and say Indy was in it the whole time. They missed their chances, and if you
Yeah.
look at the run of play, the score line is probably fair. How the score line happened was not, but the score line itself is fair. If you look at Orange County, they're not the same bottom of the West team that they were last year. They're a much improved squad. Again, that score line's probably fair. Then you get to Charleston, and it becomes a 3-0 defeat at the hands of the Battery. And that was kind of the one where I saw the full panic button already hit in Tampa Bay. Checking out the USL show Twitter, we are around the heartbeat of a lot of teams, and Tampa Bay was on fire. If it wasn't for Louisville doing whatever happened against El Paso, I think more spotlight would have been shown on Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
But Charleston's a good team with an amazing coach. Why Memphis didn't pay him, I don't know. And Tampa Bay doing a lot of things that seem to be quote unquote uncharacteristic. Is that what's been happening basically? What's going on with this team? What's the struggle all about?
Well, yeah. when we get there, I'd like to hear, how Birmingham are doing their things tactically and everything like that. But on our side, like you said, the tactics don't seem to quite be there yet. So with the podcast, we get to go to the post game press conferences, and so far the one that we had after the Indy game, that was the one where I got to speak to Neil Collins and say like, hey, how did you feel today went essentially? Or was the team up to your standards and everything like that? And even prior to this, I will say, when we went in there, he started the conversation by saying that even if we had got the 3 points, like if that penalty had not been given, he said that it still would have been, a poorer performance, and he would have wanted to work on it. And I said, okay, well, what's the next step here? How do you kind of change things? And he said, this is where we start to put the season together and or put the team together and try and figure out where we're going with the season. And I, just from my admittedly very amateur perspective, it was weird that he said, after the first game, this is where we start. And this is, it's probably no more than a slip of the tongue, but it seems like, the Rowdies actually did kind of have a start there. And if you think about it, there is a lot of turnover with this team, but then, we get 3 games in now, and we played Charleston Battery, and they just beat us 3-0. Charleston Battery are another team that have a ton of turnover. Not only do they have a lot of turnover on the field, but they have a new coach, something you mentioned. So, like, I don't know that I want to go by the turnover route anymore. I don't think that is sufficient to just to explain away what's going on. I think that unfortunately, it's just a case that right now we haven't quite found what we need to do with the players that we have out there. So the first 2 games, we started with 2 up front, and that was Cal Jennings and JJ Williams. JJ Williams, that you are obviously pretty familiar with from the Alabama area, but yeah, he ultimately put JJ Williams on the bench for the game against Orange County, and Cal Jennings started up top. But it was, so far we haven't really had the same, not exactly the same formation for each of the 3 games, and I don't know if that's the team trying to change things up. But yeah, it's been difficult to figure it out.
That's something that I really want to jump in on. And we'll talk about the Legion players going south, and JJ Williams, Zach Caraveau, and Freddie Kleeman, all former Legion players going down south and playing for the Rowdies. You mentioned the formation, and this is the big thing for me. This is where I think most of the things are honestly going wrong. We are I decided to go back and watch all the Rowdies matches so far and just take notes, see what's going on, because I'm confused. And there's been a couple of things. I mean, Leo Fernandez being out, I mean, that's going to hurt everybody. There's no team in the league that can recover from that kind of loss, at least not fully, right? And so to say that that's the entire reason, yes and no, I don't think that tells the whole story. So I want to start in net because there was something I kind of discovered, and it's not really fair. But every single shot that has been conceded so far, Breno's in net right now.
Mm-hmm.
Every single goal that's gone in, which has been 5, have all been to his right. Not a single one have gone above him or to his left. They have every single one been to his right. 2 penalties, one that he got his paw to, 1 deflection. It's a small sample size, but it's a sample size that I think it's a little bit worth noting, because if you look at the rest of the matches and the saves that he makes, going down to his left looks really comfortable. Look, if you watch him go down to his right, especially as the matches go on, he just looks more and more unsure of himself. And I don't know if that's a confirmation bias by me or not. But to me, and this is my opinion, Connor Sparrow, who has been injured, is the much better goalkeeper. To me, I thought he was the 3rd best goalkeeper in the league last year. And he's been sitting on the bench with injury. And when you get to the formation, and this is where I think a lot of the issues are breaking down. When you think of the Rowdies, you think of a 3-man back line. You have 3 center backs with, Forrest Lasso manning the middle, doing Forrest Lasso things, right? And then you have a 5-man midfield, so 3-5, have whatever they're doing, a defensive midfielder that can sit deep but is allowed to go forward, like Lee Hilton, he loves to go in there, sit deep, and just spray the ball all around the pitch, get to Leo Fernandez, let Leo do his thing. And
Exactly. Yeah.
then 2 men up top, they do whatever. This season, the formation they've gone with the most has been the 4-4-2. And it's interesting because if you look at this last Charleston match and you look at their 3-5-2, they did it a little bit, but not much at all. They actually didn't run the 3-5-2 like barely at all against the Battery. They decided to go for that 4-4-2, and it was obvious. So many chances that you see were created because of a misplayed ball in the midfield that I think Lee Hilton wouldn't do, and it left the back line in a terrible position. And let's say if that does happen, if the midfielder plays a horrible ball and they have to break down a counterattack, they only have 2 guys back there. The first goal, granted, amazing goal by Charleston, there was only 2. It was a 3v2. If they were in their normal, 3-5-2, it's at least 3-on-3, and you can slow down that attack just a hair more.
Yeah.
But they're not doing it, and it's just leading to goals and leading to scoring opportunities. And I don't understand what the change is.
So, yeah, I mean, I like that perspective there. The Rowdies are known for at least the Neil Collins era, let's say, to have 3 at the back. So if we went back to 2021, which was the best year in recent history, we set the points record and we got to the final, and unfortunately the final didn't go our way. All of that happened, but that was the year that we all looked and said the Rowdies were doing the best. And if you look at the back line, it was Forrest Lasso in the middle, and then it was Aaron Guillen as kind of a left center back, left fullback, depending on where the ball is. Jordan Scarlett was to the right, and then we had 2 wing backs. So if you look at the roster now, Forrest Lasso was away for a season, and now he's come back. I can't speak to everything that happened in Sweden, but he was with a team that unfortunately got relegated. Probably partially why he's back here, but I don't know. I don't know how that went for him personally. I'm assuming that it was a lot of growth, just because it's hard to, the old saying goes, you learn the most about yourself, or you learn the most, I guess, when times are tough. So you probably learn a lot when you're on the receiving end at the bottom of the Swedish league, as opposed to, being the team with most of the possession or whatever at the top of the USL Championship. So I'm not going to speak on that specifically, but Jordan Scarlett is also out of the team now, and then Aaron Guillen has been playing as our left back. I actually think that Aaron Guillen has been doing, one of the best jobs that we've had so far this year. He was a USL, I believe, all first league, if not all second league selection for last season. So, he's got the pedigree. He was named team captain before the season started. And yeah, the fact that Connor Sparrow is not in, as much as I do like as much as I do like Phil Breno, he has earned his own little place in Rowdy's lore just because of what he did last season in the lead up to the playoffs. But yeah, well, it was definitely Phil Breno's pleasure. But he's earned, like I said, his spot in Rowdy's lore. But it would probably still be better if we had Connor Sparrow in there. I think that, as you said, it's just that he is such a far and away a crazy good goalkeeper that it would just be better. Like, if you look at Germany, let's say, Marc-Andre ter Stegen is a very good goalkeeper, but it would be better if they had Manuel Neuer in it. So it's probably a silly comparison, but it demonstrates the point. I think that right now it's just kind of a problem where the team is feeling itself out in terms of what is the best lineup. And I think that there's obviously enough talent on there that they're going to be able to eventually put it together. We just hope as fans that it doesn't take a long time to put it all together, because this is supposed to be the do it season. They went out and they got all of these players who are, I don't want to say that they're not young players, because not everyone is a young player on there, but they're not old players either, of course. I don't want to portray it that way. But this was supposed to be the team that was able to put everything together from the past 2 years and go and get a trophy here. And unfortunately, Forrest Lasso has come in and he's given away 2 penalties. As you said, one of them really wasn't a penalty, but one of them certainly was a penalty. I'm not sure what happened with that against Charleston. And then the other big piece that I would say at this point is just someone you mentioned, Lewis Hilton, is not in. He started our first game, and he was injured in the first 6 or 7 minutes, and then we haven't had him since then. And as much as Lewis Hilton and Leo Fernandez, like, you can't rely on 2 guys to have your whole team function. Unfortunately, if you have those 2 in your team, you're also going to want to rely on them because they're so good at this level and they've done so much. So the fact that Leo is out is a huge thing. The fact that Lewis Hilton is out now, then that's another thing that compounds it. And we just don't have anyone who has kind of filled that gap yet. I mean, Zach Haribo was brought in, I think, as a midfielder, and so far he's actually played it right back for the most part. So I'm sure he's happy to be on the field like any professional player. But it's just kind of weird that all of these things are going on at the same time.
I kept saying Lee Hilton, and I'm pretty sure there was a Lee Hilton that played midfield way back for like West Ham, and that I'm thinking of. I don't know why I kept saying Lee and not Lewis, but it's fine.
I didn't even catch it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that with Haribo, I mean, this is something we saw with Legion. He is a true defensive midfielder, a true center midfielder, but he played a lot of his time here in Birmingham for the how long was he here? For the 3 years that he was here, he was a center back option. He played a lot of center back for Legion. And you saw a little bit of, center back, third center back already down in Tampa Bay. We've already seen that a little bit in those preseason friendlies, that's where Zach was playing a little bit. Doesn't shock me at all. That's who he is, but I don't really understand the move. And this is one of the things that I said preseason. I made a couple of comments preseason. I'm getting a little bit of flack for it, and it's fine. But this is a team that when you saw the talent, this was before the Leo, stuff came out and a lot of other injuries happened and whatnot. But I said that this team has the potential to be the best USL team of all time. You look at all the people that are on the pitch when healthy. You look at the roster. You look at the coach. You say, this is a good team. This is arguably one of the best teams. You can't really find a hole at all. You look at that starting 11, you can put it up with anybody in the country, in the USL. But it also led to a second question, and this was when I got a lot of pushback from with Rowdy fans. And now that we're in the middle of the season, I'm starting to see it sneak in a little bit. If this team isn't successful and doesn't make the USL final, or, doesn't even host a playoff game because of a rough start to the season, when does Neil Collins' seat get a little too hot to handle?
Yeah, I mean, with that, I don't have like a very good answer just offhand, because I think that Neil Collins not only has like a bit of cachet because he was a former player, and that helps, but he's also built up a very good reputation over the years that he's been coaching. And not to say that it wouldn't take a lot either, because I will say there are people who are antsy online. That happens, but you kind of have to. Here's the way kind of to gauge it is like, you have the very online base of fans, and the base of fans are going to be the ones who use Twitter to talk about the Rowdies. They might have a Discord, something like that, So in that group, there is some angst already, and I don't know if it's like, I don't know if people are like, well, we got to sack Neil. It's only 3 games in. I certainly haven't seen that anywhere. If anybody's feeling that, luckily it hasn't crossed my timeline. But
right.
But if it starts to get, if it continues and it starts to break containment, so to speak, and it starts to get into like the less casual fan base, the ones who are there with their family, and maybe during the game. They're on their phone a little bit. They're not like paying attention to every play. They're not the ones who are doing the chants and doing the clapping and setting off the smoke bombs and everything. If it starts to break containment, that's when I would be a little bit worried. But with it only being 3 games in this season, I think that that's very hard to. I think that that's very hard to expect that it would do. But yeah, it's there's a very good chance to turn it around this weekend because we're hosting. But otherwise, if we were just playing Birmingham at any neutral venue or in Alabama, I would feel obviously a lot less secure about this. I think the saving grace that's in my head is that this is a home game, and if we can get a good result here, then that'll probably quell some of the in Discord fans, the on Twitter fans. And then if they're quiet, then if they're a little more quieted, then the regular fans are certainly not going to be knocking down the doors.
Yeah, I mean, I only ask because Tampa has been so close so many times now.
Yeah.
Just so close so many times now. Making however many straight Eastern Conference Finals. Last year, feeling like they should have won the match, going up a man in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then a scramble in the box in the extra time does it. Eh, I guess the question is just how long is close enough not going to be good enough? And that and it's not fair because Neil is a wonderful human from everybody that I've talked to. He's a wonderful person to have around, the locker room, the front office, and kind of what you mentioned with families. I mean, he's good with like kids and stuff like that. Very wonderful to talk to. That's a part you have to think about when you're working at this level too. It's not like you're at Man City where the relationship between coach and fans is basically non-existent. It's when you're working at this level,
Unless you're Julia Roberts.
yeah. Yeah. But like it's so intertwined. And I think what you're saying with like if the normal fans, the ones who aren't always listening to podcasts, the ones that aren't reading articles, the ones that aren't on Twitter, aren't on Discord, if that starts to get loud, I think you're probably right. That's probably when, that front office needs to evaluate and say, hey, what's going on here?
Right.
But this team is interesting, and I'm really excited about what this team has to offer because we saw it in the Charleston game, and we've seen it a lot. And we saw it last year too. This is a big team. They got big bodies. They are kind of in the same vein as this Legion squad is. You are seeing how many players that are 6 foot tall and taller. That was mostly how Legion has been built for a long time. And now Legion has Alex Crognale, who might be the only person who can look Forrest Lasso in the eye. Actually, I think Alex may be taller than Forrest. And then Fanwell, can hold his own 6'2". Juan is 6'2", 6'3". But then you look over Zach Caravo, who is not a small human. Forrest Lasso, big human.
Yeah.
Cal Jennings, big human, lots of big bodies. And against Charleston, the set pieces gave a lot of trouble, right? But I want to see how this set piece battle goes down between these two teams because it's going to be physical. And I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah. I think especially in 2021, we were kind of I don't want to say known for it because that seems like I don't know, interviewing other fan bases or whatnot. But I think that we had definitely developed at least a reputation for being, particularly dangerous on set pieces. It was unfortunate that set pieces helped them do us in the actual final, but over the course of the 2021 season, yeah, Forrest Lasso was a huge impact, but then there were several other guys, and I think that we had Steven Dos Santos was another one who was 6'4" or whatever he was, and he was heavily involved over the course of that whole season. So that's another thing at the moment that I guess we're missing with Lewis Hilton being our usual set piece taker, and he's not there. So I'm hoping, obviously, that he's back this weekend. He hasn't been actually put on the injury list yet, so he's just been questionable each game. If that's the case, then he's got to be back soon, is my assumption. But yeah, we don't have any confirmation just yet, and I would love to get us back on the set pieces. That would be good.
One last thing on the Rowdies, that this is just a small thing, and I'm a big proponent of XG doesn't really mean anything. XG is it's just a stat that exists. But for each particular match, but I think it's important when you look at XG and stuff to see what is a pattern. Because if this is a team, let's just throw an example, the Rowdies are averaging 1.12 XG every single game. Every single game, that's exactly what they score. And then they come across, I don't know, Pittsburgh, and they put up a 3.17. It's like that's a statistical anomaly. Or they come out against Loudon and they only put up 0. I was muted. I was muted. So we are officially kicked off. The Three Sparks underway. Yeah, I would have been here a little bit sooner, but my food took forever. So I want to go ahead just real quick because it's a little bit loud. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and look at the starting 11 for both teams. And matches we're underway, and there's a couple familiar faces in the starting 18 for Tampa Bay. But we are going to start off with Legions, obviously, who are on the attack. And a shot! Oh! Philip Breno, and the shot goes in. Another save by Philip Breno. A double save that Philip Breno really showing me what I know when I said he wasn't that great. But another shot comes in. Oh, just wide. That's going to go out for a Tampa Bay throw-in. Wow. Enzo Martinez had a shot early. Breno gets up, and here in comes Juan Agudelo, who has to go, goes off the shoulder. What a start, huh? What a start. Let's go ahead and look at that starting 11 for the Three Sparks. Here we go. We have Matt Van Okel, Fanwell Kavita, Colin Smith, Anderson Aciadu, Juan Agudelo, Prosper Kasim, Nika Brett, Gabriel Alves, Matthew Corcoran, Enzo Martinez, and Alex Coronale. On the bench, we have Trevor Spangenberg, Ben Ravino, Dylan Nwigbo, Jake Ruth, Mensa. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Why am I blanking on Mensa's name? This is embarrassing. And Grayson DuPont. Why in the world am I struggling with Mensa's name? Now I'm going to look at it because it's really bothering me. I can't believe I'm doing this. Why am I blanking? Good night, alive. But Tyler Pasher not in the 11 or not in the 18, which I think is actually 17. And it's a little bit of a shock. We don't know if there's an injury or not, but if there is, I guess it kind of is what it is. Moses. I don't know how I could forget about Moses. Whatever. But this is still going to be that same 4-2-3-1 that we've been seeing out of the Three Sparks. So not a shock. I am going to go get my beer wherever the heck it went. So give me a sec. All right, we are back, and I have my, once again, very cordial, this one. Very good, very good. So we're going to go ahead and switch on over to the Tampa Bay Rowdies, whom the Rowdies have been on a weird run of form. But if I'm looking back it looks like, I mean, you can't really tell right now what position they're really running. I surely with them giving the 17-year-old, I think it's is it Tate Johnson? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Ain't working. Um, we're gonna go ahead and share this. And so they got Philip Breno, Antley, Forrest Lasso, Guillen, Dalgard, Hilton, Zach Haribo. Lewis Hilton being back is a big deal. A big, big deal. But they have given the guys Tate Johnson, who's right under Zach Haribo, former one of our own. And interesting thing going on there. He is the 17-year-old who is getting his fourth appearance so far. So pretty exciting for the 17-year-old. Matthew Corcoran and Tate Johnson just kind of going one-on-one, which as I look up, Johnson's on the screen wearing the number 17. So that's pretty funny. I wish I planned that. Cross goes in, low cross, dealt with appropriately by Mr. Alex Cardinale. I'm probably going to move at some point from right here because it's really hard for me to see the TV. And I am going to be eating. That's part of the reason I was a little bit late. So I got Uncle G's pizza, and I got this, you can't see it, but this margarita pizza, and I'm definitely going to be eating again. Another eating stream, people. Also, how loud is it? Am I too loud? Am I not loud enough? Where am I? Let me know. Guys, I'm live. We're going. Not bad. Not bad. I'm gross. Whatever. No one's let me know yet, but I can tell people are listening. Yeah, whatever. Until someone complains about it, I'm not going to do anything about it. So I can't really tell what they're running right now. I can't tell what position. It still looks like they're kind of going with a 4-4-2, which isn't the right move. But what do I know? I'm not Neil Collins. Right. So early on, Legion started off really brightly with Juan Agudelo and Enzo Martinez really testing Philip Breno, who has been a bit of a weak side. So I talked about this on the pre-match preview, but every single goal that has been conceded by Tampa Bay this year has been to Philip Breno's right. And you can kind of tell on the film that he looks more comfortable diving to his left, but I can't tell if it's a comfort or a mental thing. Yeah, they are going with the 4-4-2, which I do not like that for Tampa Bay. I don't understand the want to continue to push the 4-4-2. I don't fully get it, but I guess I don't need to get it. I don't know. Let's. Sounds good, but you're like 10 seconds. I'm 10 seconds ahead of the ESPN live stream. Really? Boo! Boo! Well, now I have no stream. Drew sucks. We have lost the stream. I'm going to pull up ESPN. So I'm not sure what to do about that. If I really am like 10 seconds ahead, I have zero idea what to do about that. Between us streaming it and me streaming, I don't know how that works. I'm also an idiot, so make that what you will. I'm going to try to get this live stream up because Drew broke it. Thanks a lot, Drew. Jeez. I'm pretty sure this wind is really annoying. I'm trying to stop it from blowing into the mic. I know that's really annoying. All right, Legion. There we go. All right. All right, it's loading. I think we're trying. I'm running so much stuff at once right now. Okay, so free kick, standing over it. Okay, we're back. So we have Nico Brett, Anderson Asiadu, and Enzo Martinez standing over the free kick. Usually this is where Enzo, from this range, this is where Enzo takes it. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's a situation where they tap it, lay it off for Ando, who has to go. Enzo lines it up, runs over. Nico Brett goes. Oh! And it's cleared away. A third wonderful save by Philip Breno. And the one on the left, this TV on the left is even more ahead. I don't know what to do. What's up, man? It's a cute dog. Everybody brought their dog today. Isn't there like a dog park bar in Birmingham? Oh, so not my kind of people. And the ball is in for a throw in. Colin Smith has it. He's looking to go on the outside. Puts a low cross in. I think he just kind of scuffed it, but goes out for a corner. I can't tell who's over. Oh, from the right side is Prosper Kassim, but it's in a cross. It's another really good cross. Diving header to clear it away, and a long clearance away. Matt Van Oekel chests it down. Kind of scuffs the kick a little bit, but goes to a Legion player, thankfully, which now goes out to the right side to, I believe, Lewis Hilton. And Tampa Bay has continued to go with the 4-4-2. And this is what's kind of interesting. Neil Collins is kind of known to be playing the Neil Collins is known for his 3-5-2. And that 3-5-2 really puts a lot of help on the back line and also slows down the midfield, which Legion are just completely overrunning. Prosper Kassim has it currently now on the right side, looking to cut inside as he always does on that golden right or left boot of his. Out to Matthew Corcoran, who goes out to Colin Smith, who to recycle the attack. But Tampa Bay has always just dominated the midfield. And when they're going with the 4-4-2, they just don't have the ability to do so. And whenever Lewis Hilton, if he ever loses the ball, that back line has three people to put it in. Was the cross that goes in and is deflected out for another corner kick. Wow. It's a good pizza, man.
Is it good?
It's really good.
Worth a 30-minute wait?
Yeah. I got the margarita pizza, and I love basil, so totally worth. Also, this continues the trend of us wearing red at home and black away, which is interesting. We haven't seen the white shirt yet, which tells me we might not be wearing the white shirt for a while. This continues to be a thing. And that ball goes straight for a Legion, which they are looking to quickly to counterattack. But kind of going back to Tampa Bay, right? Like, Lewis Hilton is always kind of the man of the show. And as Tampa Bay has a really quick counterattack, Matthew Corcoran got beat a little bit, but Tate Johnson, who is playing left back for them, not center back, looks really good on the, but Legion pushed them all the way back. You know, they're still playing this. So really stuffing up the midfield allows them to take more time. Basically, they can really get it all under control, and it allows the back line to do their thing, really. And as Enzo Martinez wins it back, hey, they don't give up as many chances in that 3-5-2. And I don't really know if the loss of Leo Fernandez is the reason they switched to this. Because without Leo, they don't have that same kind of prowess on the attack, I guess. They don't have the same kind of flexibility in the midfield at slash attacking third. But you wouldn't think one player, even though he was the MVP and it wasn't even close, you wouldn't think that one player could cause the entire formation to change, which is what's throwing me off with this team. Legion going up the left side, and they kind of put it back, look for a switch. Matthew Corcoran on the right side looking for a quick switch. He gets it finally with lots of yards to spare. Looking midfield, he gets it out to Prosper Kasim, who goes out to the right side to Colin Smith. Colin Smith takes it up the line, beats Tate Johnson. He goes and put it across, but falls, so trips up a little bit. He goes around the 17-year-old, puts in a cross, and no one is there. And as Matthew Corcoran kind of misses his touch, and it goes out for what looks to be a Legion goal kick. I thought that was a Tampa Bay goal kick for sure, or throw in for sure. I realized I never took this banner off. I'm a great host. Wonderful host I am. Legion looking to recycle the attack. I just don't get it. I don't understand why Tampa Bay is really just pushing. I know I said this a lot now, but I just don't get it. Maybe someone smarter than me can't explain it, but it's not me. I mean, I don't get it. In a little bit, I am going to move. I am just sitting right here right now because I do want to eat. Also got wings. And not bad. Neil Collins is a very angry guy right now, by the way. So the early chance is a good sign or a bad sign? I think it's a good sign because really, I wouldn't even call them misses. They were low percentage chances from pretty harsh angles. Frankly, Breno should be saving those. I think Enzo might be actually the best chance of the night just because, like, with Breno making that save and burying it out, I think if you're Enzo, you want that to be a little bit more left or right. Obviously left because if it was right, it'd been right into the defender. But everything else is such a harsh angle. I don't really think that Legion are too upset about it. I think it's a good sign that the team is getting into good chances because Breno cannot be that good for that long as the ball is just a little strong for Nico Brett from Enzo Martinez. Tampa Bay trying to quickly start that counter attack as Lewis Hilton plays it off, and that's kind of the role that he plays. But I really think that this is a good sign for Legion. I think that in general, if from those angles that we're looking at, where most of those came from, you're not going to get much of a chance on goal in general. So forcing the keeper to make a save and maybe it goes out or it bounces to one of your players. That's kind of what you're hoping for in those situations. The free kick's a free kick is what it is. You want them to put it on target, and that's exactly what they did, and Legion got a good chance from it. I'm going to eat some wings in the meantime. I'm so hungry. They are really good. Yeah, I know. The pizza was definitely worth the wait. This is Uncle G's pizza. They should have warned us a little bit, but I don't know if they knew it was going to be that way. But yeah, wings, good. Uncle G's, good. Neil Collins is such an angry man.
It smells so good too.
It's really good. Hey,
And you're wearing a white shirt.
I'll be honest. I don't think I'm going to eat all of them. So if you guys want the last 3, because I'm not going to eat all this.
We'll have it down. We'll hit you up. We'll get you a beer or something.
Man. So 20 minutes in, what are your guys' thoughts so far? Legion have looked positive on the attack, have shut down the counters pretty quickly, but what do you guys see early on? And Tommy Sohn on the screen. Senor, the gapper. I just keep hitting the mic. I'm so not used to doing this live. All right. This is y'all's. Yep. What?
When you here tonight to explain on your podcast why you said Nile was the best defensive back in the USL.
I never said that. That never came out of my mouth.
Taylor one time said he was okay, and it's evolved now to where we just telling everybody that Taylor said he was the best.
That did not happen.
Taylor, if there's anything we've learned from America right now, is that Mike Spring is the most important. What? You go to a pizza truck and get wings?
I also got pizza. Why is everybody looking at me? On the what? On the Little Caesars? I haven't had any of it, so I don't know. I'll get some in a little bit. I've already had pizza though. Oh! That was horrible. That was horrible. I mean, I wish I could have something there to say, yeah, Legion shouldn't be giving up that shot, but that was awful. Yeah, Haribo and Hoops hurts. It really sucks seeing Zach not play for us. That really sucks. That said, seeing JJ Williams playing for them too is going to suck a lot too. I mean, that was bad. All right. We're in. We're good to go. It's really hard for me to see right where I am. Yeah, whatever. Oh, I'm going to do something real quick. Because like I said, I am learning on the fly. Hey, Johnny Dean is starting for Chicago. Hey! Johnny's starting for Chicago.
He's not here. He's there. He's in
He's so good. There's no reason why Nashville should have cut him last year. I'm happy. Hey, you know what? He got a major pay grade. What? Pop Mob. He's starting. He didn't score. He's starting. No, he's starting. I would have gone crazy if he was scored. No, I would have gone mental if he scored. I would have been pulling up highlights. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm live. I'm live right now. So I did this last week, and I'm still figuring it out. But right now, I'm thinking because I'm going to make this like the live show spot. So I know a lot of other places do this where they'll do live shows for the games, like away games. But most of the time they'll just be sitting in their house. And I was like, MCB does it at Ghost Train. I like Ghost Train. Let's try it out. And so here we are. So right now, I can't really tell what is happening with Tampa Bay. They kind of look like they're playing this like a 4-3-2-1, like a Christmas tree almost. It's weird. Oh, that's a really, really weird turnover from Tampa Bay there, as this ball is still kind of stuck in their half. Tampa Bay is kind of I don't get it. I don't get it. And that's going to be a lot of this podcast, or a lot of this live show is that I don't understand. I don't really understand what Tampa Bay is doing. And I guess I don't need to. As that ball is headed back, or I think it's Guillen. Guillen has it kind of stuck at his feet, and it goes out to Tate Johnson. And as it's going up the left-hand side, Legion are looking to defend for very few times as it goes back out to Tate Johnson playing the left back. The 17-year-old passes it back to Forrest Lasso, who was, as of, let's see if I get this right, Charleston Battery, then FC Cincinnati. Then he went to MLS with FC Cincinnati. And then he went down to Nashville SC, where he went down to Tampa Bay. And after Tampa Bay, he went to Sweden to Sportsen, which was the top division in Sweden. They immediately got relegated as one of the worst teams in league history as Legion are on the counterattack. It goes out to Prosper Kassim, who plays it out to Nico Brett. Nico Brett looks to take a touch, has 3 men in his path, but he's lining up for a shot. Goes out to Prosper Kassim, who's getting it onto his left foot, taps a go, and it is well wide. And it is out for a goal kick. But Nico Brett, Forrest Lasso has won USL Defender of the Year, I think, 3 times now. And I strongly say that he is the best defender in USL history. And I don't think it's close. But he is a big, powerful, bruising center back. The thing is, though, is that when his game is very physical, as opposed, and it's a different kind of physical than Fanuel Kavita. Forrest Lasso looks to outpower you, out-physical you. He wants to kind of make you hurt. Not in a Yuma for El Paso kind of way where, he gets red cards and or like studs to the, kneecaps. He's more of a red card because of just constant yellow cards, right? And Forrest Lasso is just like, he's very physical. His game is outpowering someone. Meanwhile, Fanuel Kavita, his is very positional, and he is playing. Fanuel Kavita plays the human and not the ball, right? Forrest Lasso is physical, but he plays the ball and not the human, which is very different. It feels like it's the same, but it's very different. And so Forrest Lasso mid-season is going to be one of the more dangerous defenders you'll come across because he will dispossess you. He'll take the ball away from you and immediately start a goal-scoring chance. Meanwhile, Fanuel Kavita is more of a, I will out-muscle you. The ball will go out for a goal kick, as Matt Van Oekel is down with an injury. And I wonder if this is the same knock that possibly kept him out of the last match. They are checking him out right now. We might see Trevor Spangenberg come in as MBO is down. Tampa Bay is taking a chance to talk to their, Neil Collins taking a chance to talk to Tampa Bay. But I do wonder if this is the same injury that maybe kept him out of this last match. But right now, we're seeing Matt getting some look to him on his what appears to be his ankle. which is not great. Meanwhile, in the background, I see a Rosarena warming up, I think, for Tampa Bay, whom, if you don't know, yes, I said a Rosarena, not the baseball player. It's his brother. And there's some really interesting dynamics happening between those two. As Randy Rosarena was a Mexican international on the baseball field, everybody knows him from the Tampa Bay Rays. Meanwhile, he started for Mexico. He was very much like a star of the Mexican national team in the World Baseball Classic, which I was all in on. I love the World Baseball Classic. On the other side of it, you have Rico, who the day that Mexico was knocked out, started for the Cuban national team. And the interesting kind of thing there is that Randy straight up said, I want the U.S. to lose in the World Baseball Classic so I can beat Cuba in the World Baseball Classic. Yeah, MVO's hurt. His ankle was just not good to go. It looks like they're making him go off. He's taking his gloves off, and they are taking Matt Van Okel out of the match. So Trevor Spangenberg is coming into this match. Wow. So in comes Spangenberg. I mean, what? Who? Which one? James. There's a good chance that James is down there. Yeah. Oh yeah, then that's James. Yeah, so we just saw James Knoll on there. So that's kind of cool. Wow. So Trevor Spangenberg, for the second time in less than a year, gets a substitute appearance. Wow. Wow. So this is an interesting thing, right? Because Trevor does not have the strongest leg in the world. It's fine. I mean, he's obviously a good goalkeeper, but doesn't have the strongest leg in the world. And Tampa Bay likes to have a high press, which means their midfield is going to be pushed forward, which I worry about his leg strength because Matt Van Okel will just bomb balls forward. And now with this, they're not going to have that same opportunity. Who is this? Okay. I mean, here's the thing. I love Trev. Trev is awesome. I think he's a great player, but yeah, I'm very interested to see how this match goes. So right now, Tampa Bay has a free kick in a pretty dangerous area because they are a tall team. Forrest Lasso is, like I mentioned him earlier, one of the more physical guys, just like an absolute bruiser. So I'm pretty sure they're probably going to have Fanny or Alex on him if he's up in the box. Yep, Fanwell is marking on Forrest Lasso as Lewis Hilton goes to take the free kick, which makes sense. He is their normal free kick taker. He is lining over this to put a big ball into the box as it goes up, and it is over. Wow. So that's not how this works, pal. The question was if Spangenberg has ever had a clean sheet, and the answer is yes. Yes, he has. Right now, Tampa Bay is kind of on the front foot. Now, if you look at possession stats, and this is where I like to bring up this every now and then, possession doesn't mean anything. Possession is a funny animal as Legions are on the attack. Goes out again to Prosper Kasim, who goes on his right foot, and it goes back out to Colin Smith. Prosper out onto his left foot, looks for Matthew Corcoran. Matthew Corcoran looking out for Colin Smith. Colin Smith is looking to take it to the touchline. Goes back out to Matthew Corcoran. Matthew Corcoran goes up top to Alex Cronale. Alex Cronale to Endo. Endo is getting into good space. Out to and Anderson was offsides. Tough. So I'm going to try this out real quick. No, like break it down for me, step by step. How was he offsides? Yeah. It is so hard for me to see. Hey, they killed Colin. They killed him. Man, yeah, Trevor coming in. It's an interesting wrinkle into this match. I trust Trevor, though. Also, Legion. Hey, I've always been a believer. Look. But yeah, so Legion has put their WFC hoodie out on. Oh, this ball is going out. It's up into the middle. And there go. Oh, they were looking out for Prosper Kasim, who it looked like he was on. Tampa Bay still kind of in the back, kind of caught. Legion really going for this counterattack team. So if you look at possession, and I started this rant earlier, if you look at possession, right, the possession stats say that Tampa Bay should be winning this match. But possession is nothing more than an indication of how a team is going to play, not domination. As that ball is given up cheaply in the midfield, and as it looks, and Tampa Bay looking to get that one off, goes to recycle possession out to the top of the box where a foul is given on top of the box. And did Anderson, or they're saying there's a foul. They're giving a foul for the first contact. I don't know, man. That's weird. I'm going to move over just a little bit. We're going to see. So, as we have a free kick in a dangerous area, Lewis Hilton is lethal from free kicks. He is one of the more accurate free kick takers in the USL. This is probably the last person you want to have standing over the ball. This is an interesting situation for Legion to be in. There is no world that Lewis Hilton is not taking this. Let Let me check. As it looks like Ariel Martinez is also standing over at Lewis Hilton, and it is the wall gets it. Lewis Hilton, again, one of the more dangerous free kick takers in the USL. That's a really good wall set up by Trevor Spangenberg. Really good wall. So, I guess that's out for a goal kick? I thought it was out for a throw-in. What do I know? I'm an idiot. Ball slumped upfield. Enzo Martinez onside. He is looking at a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And he looks to Enzo Martinez looks to square it up for the tap-in. But, wow. Enzo Martinez on the top of the box looks to square it up and just straight to Guillen. So this one gets put into the chat. Trevor in there for 5 straight years of having a backup keeper. Don't forget that Trevor was initially the starter when he got here. Matt Van Oekel was injured when he first showed up to Legion. He was not always healthy. So Trevor came in as the starter. He was never meant to be the long-term starter, but if he won the job, he won the job. Meanwhile, he likes Birmingham, so that's a big deal. But we all assume as Enzo lines one up and just over the bar. It looks like he tipped it over, but they're not giving it. But Trevor, we all assume, and I'm sure Trevor's one of them, that Matt is going to retire in a year now. And that's not like a Matt's old and bad, but it's more or less Matt's getting up there. And surely, eventually, the game is going to catch up to him, but it just never seems to. That's a foul. That's a foul. What in the world? What? He got yanked down. How is that not a foul? Am I stupid?
No, like he spun him around too. That's what was weird.
That was really weird. Wow. That ball almost went out, or that ball almost went in. That deflection was gnarly. That's a foul, right? Right, yeah. Okay. So let's kind of think about let's do this. Let's kind of look at, I guess, Trevor as well. Trevor is good enough to be a GK1 at pretty much every other club. He is good enough to be the number one at pretty much every other club in the USL. I really mean that. And that's not me just talking highly of him because I like him. I mean that. And so Matt being on the cusp of retiring, what everybody feels like every single year, I feel like it's what keeps him around. Plus, people don't talk about this. Birmingham, relative to almost every other city in the U.S., is insanely cheap to live in. It is very cheap to live here compared to most other major cities in the U.S. And, you can get that 2-bedroom apartment or 1-bedroom apartment for him and his wife for, $1,200, $1,400 a month. Meanwhile, you go out to San Diego, where I think he would win the starting keeper job. Let's see where $1,400 gets you. Not very far. So I think that's a really interesting part of this, is that it's affordable to live here. That's a big part of it. And we don't like to talk about finances that much because it's an awkward conversation. But it's real, man. Like, when you're looking at how much players are paid, it's just like every other job that we all have. That's a really big deal, man. As Gabriel Alves looks to have a throw-in, ball, long throw-in, tries to get over to, I believe, Nico Brett, as that ball is headed back out for a second
throw in. Neil, I can't get over how Neil Collins looks. He looks, I don't know. Oh, that's a throw in for Tampa Bay? Really? Interesting. Whatever. What do I know? As a quick counterattack for Tampa Bay, as quickly snuffed out by Fanuel Kavita, but it goes back to a Tampa Bay player, which immediately goes out to Trevor Spangenberg, who boots it high up the pitch, where Prosper Kasim tries to win it, but it goes straight to Colin Smith, who lets it go out for a throw in. We're about 30 seconds away from finding out how many minutes we are going to get for this extra time. Earlier today, Orange County got the Orange County Hartford match got 10 something extra minutes added in extra time and injury time. As Prosper Kasim is on the top of the box, goes to the touchline and remembers that he does not have a 6 minutes of extra time. I can't count. I guessed. That was a guess. Thanks, man. 6 minutes of extra time, mostly for the Matt Van Okel injury. Yeah. I mean, listen, earlier, did you see the Hartford game?
You know who that ref was, right?
That was our ref. Yeah, the ref in that Hartford game was the playoff ref for Legion. Yeah, so it was basically he let the ball go, let the game play on for a full 6-7 minutes extra, and Hartford gets the equalizer, despite it being, and granted, it's at least 4 minutes extra time, but they scored at the 53rd minute. There was no injury. I don't know how that happens, man, especially in the first half. Most refs are pretty hard set on it's going to stop right when I said it's going to stop. We said it, it's going to happen. So it's interesting to see, man. Interesting to see. As Tampa Bay, no one wants to take this free kick. No one wants to. They're watching basketball, losers. Not a real sport. Not a real sport. As that ball is played back to Philip Breno, who immediately plays it out to their right back. As is immediately taken by Legion, who has a shot. Oh! Saved again by Philip Breno, but as another corner for the Three Sparks, and they called it offsides. Interesting. I would like to see that again. Show me the replay. Another Tampa Bay quick counter. These teams are both just trying to counter each other, but Tampa Bay is dominating the possession as Enzo Martinez has it in the space as he looks out wide to Juan Agudelo, who's still playing left wing. And I hate it. I hate Juan Agudelo playing on the left wing. As Juan Agudelo gets it at his feet, plays it up to Enzo Martinez. As he tries to play it to Prosper, just does not have the same boot on him. Does not quite get it there. Tampa Bay is defending for their life despite having 60% or so of the ball. Wow. Wow. This is, Tampa Bay, I just don't understand what they're going for. As this ball goes out to Colin Smith out on that right side, looking to take it up the line as he looks up for the cross. The cross comes in straight to Enzo with a heavy touch, who goes around and wins a corner. As we are looking at a Chick-fil-A corner kick. I'm not sponsored. Can someone give me money, please? Please give me money. Prosper Kasim lining up a corner kick. Or that's not Prosper, is it? No, it is. Prosper lining up a corner kick. I wish Prosper would grow the dreads out. I just want that to be known. As this goes pretty long to the back post, but not quite one. But Legion still retains possession. Still with up, and this is one again by Legion. Up to one Agudelo, who goes back out to Prosper Kasim, who puts in a float into the box. Yeah! Wow. Another, is that Nico Brett header? This time from Prosper Kasim putting in the cross. Philip Breno finally gets beat. Wow. As this ball is floated in from Prosper Kasim, goes up to Nico Brett, who heads it straight into the corner. And I believe now with the goal, there is free shots on the house.
What?
I believe that if there's a goal, there's shots. Are we going up for shots? I'm going up for shots. I am getting the shot. Are you kidding me? What? You can go over there. There's nothing stopping you. I'm going for shots. Are you kidding me? Oh, Lord. It's happening. As we are getting shots, let's freaking go. Especially since I have a microphone, never a bad idea. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I love Ghost Train. Yep.
Anyone else?
All right.
I'll take a shot with you, Kaylor.
Are we all? I guess we're waiting for everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna wait for everybody.
Hey. We got shots, fellas. We still got more people. We're doing tequila shots.
I don't think it's tequila.
I saw a clear liquid.
I think it's vodka.
Is it vodka? Hey, I don't care. This is free. So, for every goal, Legion gets a shot. So, we get a free shot on the house. Cheers.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, tequila. And we're still waiting. I should be watching the game. No one cares about my tequila shots.
All right.
As the Rowdies are looking to sort of. That's tequila. Definitely tequila.
Yes, sir.
As the half ends. Wow.
You guys just need to drink more spicy liquors. They pay a distillery in Mexico to make that tequila.
Incredible.
It's not under their name.
Wow. So Legion in the half, 1-0 on a Nico Brett header. That's just, he only has 2 goals this year. Both are headers, which always just blows my mind that teams let Nico Brett and Anderson Asidu win headers. I don't understand. But I am going to take a quick break. I need some water. My throat hurts. I'm dying. So people are celebrating. Why are people celebrating? San Diego State, I think. San Diego State is going off to the finals. Basketball happened. Not a real sport. There, I said it. Basketball's not a real sport. There. It's not a job. That's right. You are correct. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break, save my throat just a little bit. Cannot wait for the second half. All right, we're back. We're doing our dang thing. By God.
Hey,
Hey,
do you know what the best jerseys are?
it's not red.
It is the red.
It's
ones.
not. Then why are you wearing white?
Because I haven't bought the red one yet.
You just
I
have the
didn't
old
have
one.
the red one in my size when I went up to it.
I'm not gonna lie. I really hope they have the WFC jerseys. Like, I hope they're new jerseys because I'm really excited about that. They have the WFC hoodies.
Okay, I keep saying WFC. That's a women's team. What's that stand for? I haven't gotten it.
Women's FC.
They're just going to be called Women's FC.
They're technically called the Three Sparks.
Okay, the Three Sparks. I love Three Sparks a lot better. Women's FC seems kind of.
So they're Birmingham WFC, but their official name is the Three Sparks because their logo it says Legion, and then it has in a V the Three Sparks. Yeah.
Get that shirt there.
Oh, the match kicked off. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. I miss Zach so much. That said, I mean, Zach being gone is so good for Matthew. Matthew getting his chance to play. Oh, we have angry dogs. We have angry dogs. As that ball is won by Enzo Martinez, who Nico Brett tries to go around, who Matthew Corcoran, who we were just talking about, gets it. Goes over to Juan. Juan plays it out wide.
Young talent in the Birmingham area. Like, Legion has worked with the local youth organizations to build an entire pipeline of players. Like,
All right, I mean,
we're going to be around.
that's the thing, is that the Busa academies are now starting to use Legion's tactics, like because they have that official partnership. You're starting to see Legion's handprints all over the youth game now, and we're going to start seeing more and more academy products coming through, and that's really exciting.
And national team players and shit come out of Birmingham. Like, they have a good,
Tanner
talent in this area.
Tanner Tessman, Braden Cervania, Chris Richards, obviously. Jaden Cervania plays for Puerto Rico. So that's 4 from the same generation that are all within like 20 to or 21 to 25 that are all just playing national team minutes. I mean, it's ridiculous how much talent comes out of Birmingham. And that doesn't include the women's game that has like 5 professionals, I think, right now.
Our women's team's going to be good.
They're going to be so good. The thing that worries me is that we're going against Formensa, who just won it all last year, but they lost their goalkeeper to, I think, Ligue 1, and their leading striker is now, I think, starting for Barcelona, which is ridiculous.
I'm just pumped that we're going to put money and effort into the women's game. Because I think in the future, in the not too distant future, Birmingham could be playing. We could have a team.
Well, don't forget that Super League. Don't forget that Super League is coming, the second division of soccer for women. That's coming, and
I think we're going to be in the professional ranks before long on the women's side.
next year,
so much women's talent in this area.
Next year, Super League starts, and it's going to be. They're going to have the same benefits as the USL Championship. So they're going to have the same minimum wage. They're going to have the same insurance. They're going to have the same everything as the championship. So it's not going to be like NWSL that leaves their players out to dry. It's going to be the USL taking care of them. And Birmingham has to be a top candidate for it. I mean, Zach Haribo has the ball, taking the ball up to the midfield, looking for someone to fill up that empty space on the right side, but it never comes. They go all the way back over to Guillen, over to Forrest Lasso, who's looking to start over the attack. Something we've seen a lot tonight. I don't understand why they changed formations. Neil Collins, their coach, is typically a 3-5-2 coach, and he switched to a 4-4-2, and it's not working, and he's just not switching back. Yeah, he basically brought it out one time and said, this will be our formation, hell or high water. Fayetteville Cavita is really high up right now.
because he runs like a light.
Oh, Colin, baby.
Get up.
And Colin gets a yellow.
Bring out your dead. I mean, he hit the ball. He hit the ball first.
He did not touch the ball once. He didn't touch the ball. I saw Adley Rushman do that the other day. And once again, Lewis Hilton is up to take this free kick. He was one of the best one of the best free kick takers in the USL. Ridiculous how good he is at free kicks. It worries me.
That was good. The comedic timing was impeccable.
The guy pronounced Anderson Cedar's name 8 times.
Man, there's some of the pronunciations are just incredible. I mean, Spargenborg is my favorite.
My favorite
Dude,
pronunciation was
Hartford's commentator had his mic down his throat. It was so bad.
My favorite was Spanish.
Spanish and Boog was a good one.
When I see him, I'm like, Spanish.
Spanish and Boog gets me every time.
So Spanish wasn't on the clean sheet. We have a
I mean, I've always said that Trevor is good enough to be a GK1. I've always said he's good enough. If he ends up being our GK1 for a while, I'm not upset about it at all.
I don't know where you got Spanish
Are you-
from.
Where are you guys going?
We progressively fuck his name up more and more.
It's like that. It's like the Oh man, it was the guy that was on Sherlock Holmes and Doctor Who. He was oh my God, what's his name? Huh? No, like actual Sherlock Holmes. What was the actor's name? Benedict Cumberbatch. It's the same thing. Like Benadryl Cumbersnatch. Like it starts off as Spangenberg, but just eventually.
Eventually, what is called Sudafed. Yeah. And then we go from there. It's like
I'm from Walker County. It's all the same.
Math makes you better at math.
That's true.
My old 18 math class. My old apartment got busted as a math class. I'm like, that's great.
So when I was living out in Cordova, I was only there for a little bit, but one of our, I'd say neighbors, not really neighbors, just like our closest house to us, blew up.
I used to, for like a couple of years, I lived in Cleveland, Tennessee, because I was working in that area. And I just got this like cheap apartment, because I was only going to be there for a couple of years. And the guy next door to me was like had an ankle bracelet on. He was like under house arrest. And he couldn't buy beer, but he wanted beer. And so he was like, bro, will you buy me beer? And I was like, yeah. And so I went and got him a 12-pack at Daddy's. And I brought him back. And as a trade for beer, he gave me like a bucket of homemade boiled peanuts and a taser. And so like, ate the boiled peanuts, they were great. But the taser was the most fun thing ever, because if you came in my apartment, at some point, unbeknownst to you, you were getting surprise attacked with a taser. I had a coffee table that had a metal rim around it, and I would wait for people to like rest against the metal rim on the coffee table, and I would just tase that bitch from the other side.
Dude, so
Tase people through the door handle, like I was the taser master.
I got shocked really bad here last week. I was taking my plug out of the wall, and as it was still plugged in, my hand touched the outlet, and I felt it, and my brain didn't tell me to stop, so I left my finger there for like a few seconds, and I was like, why did I do that? Like, it just kind of left
That's
it.
why electricity is dangerous. It's really powerful. You still do that, and it kills you.
Yeah.
But I would highly recommend buying a taser to anybody because they're the most fun.
Buy a taser.
Like, I
Also,
would like my buddies would come over and he would like get up and I'd be sitting there watching TV and he would like get up and use the bathroom and I would like hop up, sneak behind him, and just tase him in the back of the knee, just drop it.
So when I was in high school and even in college, me and my friends on the 4th of July would go out to my friend's house and we would get 200 bottle rockets and we'd strap them all together, light them all. Like we'd find the common fuse, light them all up. It was a tedious process. And we'd light the fuse, cut the rubber band, drop it on the table, and run. And it becomes just like,
hell yeah.
It was just Russian roulette with bottle rockets. And there's 200 bottle rockets coming for your neck the whole time.
You
It's
didn't grow up in the
incredible.
South and you didn't have a bottle rocket shot at you. That's just a rite of passage.
That's true. So Prosper Kasim and Matthew Corcoran. Oh, Prosper takes it quick over to Gabriel Alvis. Alvis out on the left side, looks to cut inside, goes outside, and back post, no one's there, but Anderson Asiadu looking there to recycle, goes out wide. Ball's back out. I can't tell who that is. I think that's Prosper Kasim. Prosper Kasim out wide. I mean, he's so left-footed it hurts. I love him, but he is so left-footed it hurts sometimes because, like, he gets in those positions. It's like if your right foot existed. Oh, as we had 1-on-1 and Trevor Spangenberg. Unbeknownst to him. Unbeknownst to him, Cal Jennings was offside. Unbeknownst to him, Cal Jennings offsides. Also, I still hate Cal Jennings for the hat trick. Like, that was like 4 years ago, and I still hate him. That's a really good save. That was a really good save.
Because he got a hat trick.
He got a hat trick when he played for Memphis like 4 years ago.
We still hate him.
Yeah.
Fuck Cal Jennings.
Although I did want us to sign him, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah. That's like Enzo. We hated Enzo until he was on our team, and now he's our favorite.
The thing with Enzo is that I didn't realize how good of a human he was.
Yeah.
Like, I assumed that he was different off the pitch, but, like, meeting him in real life, it's like, oh, you're actually a nice person. This is not what I thought you would be.
He's a shithouser. We always needed a shithouser on the team.
He's just like Ando. It's like off the field, fucking seat. But Ando is just like an aggressive human being. Enzo's a shithouse. And we needed that. That was like one of our missing pieces, is we needed somebody who could get everybody else off their game by just talking shit for 90 minutes.
Memphis tied.
Who are they playing?
Miami. They're a nice second, whatever. Miami doesn't win at home.
Hey, Scott, we're rooting for Miami, home of the Cuban sandwich, to beat Memphis.
Why Wait a minute. Is AT&T an official sponsor of Legion?
I hope Scott doesn't do that.
Because why is AT&T responding to Legion posts?
Who knows?
That's so weird.
Hey, they don't respond to me when I tweet mean things at them. We know it's fine because he's just like
Forrest Lasso finds it goes inside. It's still in. Yeah. Ariel Martinez. I think that's his name, Martinez. Maybe. I don't know. As the ball goes over to Nico Brett. And just as I talked about Forrest Lasso earlier, Forrest Lasso is a really physical center back who he's super physical and he plays the ball and not the person. This is exactly what I talked about earlier. I think that's a good challenge. I think that's a good challenge. Hey, Drew. I think that was a good challenge. Do you think so? Okay. Oh, I thought you left, Mac. My bad. I thought I saw him leave.
I just want to go out of soccer and be like, come over! That wasn't a terrible challenge.
So, but like I was saying earlier, this is sort of what Forrest Lasso does. He's a very, very, very physical center back, but he plays the ball and not the human, and that was a great example of it. You don't really see Fanuel Kavita go for that tackle. Also, I would love to know what's on Tommy's whiteboard.
That was scissoring like leverage porn there.
That's true. Can't confirm. I want to show the dogs. Hold on. Look at those dogs. Look at them go. I don't put the camera on people, but I will put it on dogs. Every single time a dog walks out, I'm putting the camera on them. I'm not going to put the camera on people, but every time a dog walks out, the camera is going on that dog. Without fail. What'd you get? I like it, but I like the berry cordial a lot more. If you can find it, Catawba has a peanut butter and jelly brown. That's the kill for. It's so good.
Scott only drinks vodka because he's a rich woman on a diet.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
You can look at Scott and tell he's a vodka guy. God damn it. He's got a polo shirt on. He's a vodka guy.
So the 17-year-old Tate Johnson gets subbed off. Is it Tate? Yeah, it is Tate. I didn't believe in myself. I did my research, but I didn't believe in myself. Let's see what we got. Good. Yeah. SOT Cal Jennings. I cannot stand that guy, man. Can't stand him. Yeah. I mean, I know that was a while back, but cannot stand the guy. So right now, Legion are still sticking with their what looks like a 4-2-3-1, which the fourth.
I mean, they do.
Or
I open it and
the 4-2-3-1 is kind of been what's giving Tampa Bay the icks this year, as Juan Agudelo goes for a pretty hard press. Matthew Corcoran stepping up into that midfield, that higher midfield 3 too. So maybe we're looking at more of a 4-1-3-2. I don't know. But either way, we're looking at a team right now that Legion are clearly the dominant team. Again, I've said this a few times with possession. Possession it doesn't really mean anything as Gabriel Alves gets out on the left side. Possession doesn't really mean anything. It just tells you what the team is planning to do. Now, if it's a possession-based team who likes to hold the ball a lot and they're not holding the ball, that's a sign of how things are going. But right now, Legion are obviously trying to concede possession and hit teams on the counterattack. And against Tampa Bay, it's really working. This game plan is working to perfection right now. So I like what I'm seeing. Precious. What's her name? Daisy. Cute. Oh, I didn't mean to wake you up. So right now, Tampa Bay have a corner kick, which is where they really are dangerous. With Cal Jennings and Forrest Lasso just being absolute units in the box. Cal Jennings in the middle of the box. Forrest Lasso. As the ball goes into the back post of Forrest Lasso, who cannot quite connect with it. Out for a throw in. Almost said a throw kick. That's not how that works. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The tequila shot. Kicking in a little bit.
I think maybe like let's maybe like get.
I want to have a cup of water and I'm cool right now.
Maybe get some.
Um,
It's a 4 o'clock, but it's Easter Sunday, so most people will be in like church shit all day.
Hey Drew,
Those people. Are
Drew, can you get the water bottle out of my backpack?
I was very disappointed that Evan didn't know what.
Oh, is it not in there? No.
Or like Steve. That was in the same one. I think.
I'm sorry.
Steve calling his ass out. Sure. I'm still waiting for somebody in Detroit City to realize we have a Chick-fil-A logo on the back of the jerseys. We're flying under the radar.
They'll realize it once we play them.
We got Chick-fil-A logos. We got Chick-fil-A on like half the waistbands. We got Chick-fil-A inflatables every corner.
Hey, listen.
But my theory is if Chick-fil-A is what's keeping the team afloat, fucking let's have Chick-fil-A.
Hey, listen, the moment that Detroit City realizes that Ally, their sponsor, was not an ally to the LGBTQ+.
Oh, we've already been over that. They were like, well, they've changed. We already went over that on Twitter. After the giant fights from the I just love that, like, the USL guy. I'm like, look, the gays I know are totally fine with Chick-fil-A. So
My brother and sister are non-straight, right? They don't like they're bi and they're non-binary, right? And they will sit there and they're like, we don't support Chick-fil-A, but by God, is their homophobic chicken so good?
the problem is too is it's not corporate Chick-fil-A sponsoring these teams. It's local franchisees. So it's local business owners. And a lot of the Chick-fil-A franchisees have those franchises. They make a lot of money, but they are not as. Which honestly, the Chick-fil-A organization's gotten a lot better over the last like 10, 15 years. If you call them out and say, "Hey, you're giving money to a hate group," they'll stop that hate group and find a different one.
Grayson DuPont coming in for Prosper Casino. Okay, I can make sense of this one. Gabriel Alves is going up to attack. And Grayson DuPont is going out to right back. Or maybe not.
You assaulted an underage kid, dude.
So maybe Grayson is going out to right wing, but that doesn't really make sense. Like at all. But I guess Gabriel is still playing left back. I think I said right back earlier, but left back. I don't understand. One on the outside, and he takes a shot. Deflected as Matthew Corcoran tries to get under control. He gets it to Enzo Martinez. Enzo Martinez loses possession as Zach Haribo tries to clear it out. Matthew Corcoran gets it and recycles possession. Goes out to Fanuel Kavita. Fanuel Kavita over to Matthew Corcoran, who gets it over to Fanuel Kavita again after deflection. As the ball goes out. What does he call it? A handball? Also, I just had a really weird moment where I just ate this pizza, and I was expecting marinara sauce, and it's nacho cheese, and it really threw me for a loop. A little bit. My first bite, I was expecting tomato sauce, and I was like, there's like I didn't realize that Little Caesars was this cheap. And I look down and it's yellow, and I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Scott brought the variety today. He was gonna get like a Cuban pizza, but we're not in Miami, so it wouldn't be authentic. He's on. Let's go.
So I've been out to Miami before, and I found this little mom and pop shop that did not speak a single word.
Come out. Attaboy, Trevor.
That didn't. It didn't.
Spades and boots. Spades and boots. Spades and boots.
But basically, I was down in Miami, and I was the only person in that mom and pop shop that could not speak a word of English. And I ordered a Cuban sandwich, and it was amazing. But the second best Cuban I've ever. Where? Where? So there was a place I found in rural Georgia, in Blairsville, Georgia, that their owner and the entire family is all from Cuba. It's in Blairsville, Georgia, and none of them wanted to live in Miami. So they went to the boonies of Georgia, and I went there, and it was one of the best I've ever seen. One of the best I've ever had. It was so good. Zach Haribo going off for Charlie Dennis. And it's not Hilton. Who is that? Oh, Erica. Or yeah, Ekra and Schroeder. Schroeder coming on. And Jan Ekra coming off. That's something I was talking about earlier, because someone in the chat was Nathan was talking in the chat was like, can we talk about how we have kept a backup goalkeeper for 5 years in Birmingham with Trevor Spangenberg, and people don't understand how affordable it is to live here.
Oh yeah.
And how the money that he's making will pay for a good apartment.
Well, that's why I argue with people all the time. Birmingham is the lowest cost of living metropolis in the country. Like, it's the lowest city cost of living of any city over 500,000 people in the country. That's our selling point in USL. If you want to play in this soccer league that doesn't pay shit and still be able to like buy a house, have a car, live a normal life, come to a place where the like. I always joke, my little sister's a doctor.
You can even afford the hookers and slow.
Yeah. My little sister's a doctor in New York City. She makes like $500,000 a year. If you adjust for cost of living, I make significantly more money than she does. I always joke with her that I do the best of all worlds because her cost of living is so high. And Birmingham's, Caitlin and I moved down here to live in Birmingham for like a year or two and then go somewhere else. And now we've been here for like 7 years and have a house because it's so fucking cheap to live here. Why would we move?
And you have the Legion.
And we have the Legion, and there's all these fun people here except for Taylor.
Yeah, well, and that's fair. Well, that was one of the things. It's like I was looking. No public transit's a rough one.
Yeah. This is a hot take. The Stephanie hot take. I gotta check out my face.
Yeah, if you got to Uber to my house, you're having to put a 50 down. Usually I just nap in my truck and then you can wake up and drive. As long as you're in the back seat. As long as you're not in the driver's seat, the keys aren't being ignition, you're good. But yeah, if you're asleep and if your car is off, parked, and you're in the driver's seat, you're drunk, you can still get DUI.
Yeah, because you're still in a position of power. I think.
That's why I sleep in the back seat if I got to sleep in the truck. That's what the golf clubs are.
Either way, it's all fun.
Or I sleep in the bed. It'd be like a night like tonight. If I was drunk somewhere, I'd sleep in the bed.
See, the thing is for me is that like, I was looking at apartments here, and I found a decent studio for $1,000 a month, right? And I was complaining about it to my friends who were looking for an apartment in Cincinnati, and they're like, a studio for $1,000? Like, put that down today. And I'm like, no, that's a lot of money compared to Tuscaloosa, where I found a studio for $600. And they were like, what?
In Cincinnati, it's like $3,000.
Exactly. And so, like, I was complaining about $1,000 to my friend in Cincinnati who was like, take that immediately. And I'm like, no, that's a lot of money.
The sad thing is that my mortgage payment with escrow and everything is $830.
So my
For a 4-bedroom house, that's where the cost of living really comes into play in Birmingham. These houses are fucking cheap. Even with the real estate market going up, like houses are still. You can get like these huge, nice houses in Mountain Brook that are like $600,000, $700,000, and if you put that house in a suburb of Nashville, it's a $3 million.
So like, Catherine and I I just put down our down payment for our apartment, right? 2-bed, 2-bathroom apartment. Now, for people who maybe like in Nashville are hearing that, a lot of money. Heck, even here in Birmingham, that's like $1,500 a month. We got $1,000 a month for a 2-bed, 2-bath, and it's incredible how cheap it is compared to everywhere else. And again, why people in Birmingham stay. You can live on a USL salary easily, so easily. As there's a shot, oh. Yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay, I don't understand why they're playing a 4-4-2. And when Nico and Juan press, they look so good. Nico's really good at pressing the ball. That's where you can see his like international experience.
That's gonna be a card. Fanwell just pulled it down. Yeah, there it is. He like horsepowered it.
Yeah, Fanwell. You tell her to look at me. Look at me.
He horsepowered. I mean, Fanwell's pissed, but Fanwell horsepowered it. Watch this.
That's. You can tell that man's a new father who's running on 0 sleep, because before he might have just stopped it, but now he's just.
He was like pissed. He got the milk. I was like, he horsepowered it.
I love the difference between pre-father Fanny and post-father Fanny, because post-father Fanny is so much more aggressive. You can tell he's running on 3 hours of sleep. As Lewis Hilton is standing over this one with a 2-man wall. Lewis Hilton, again, I said it several times, one of the best free kick takers in the USL. Likely going to put this one into the box. And it is going into the box after the free header across the face of goal. And it is out for a goal kick as Charlie Dennis puts it well wide.
I almost went and put mine on it.
Man.
There you go. You gotta get. Hey, you have to get a pair because this is now the official outfit in the Alabama territory.
Oh, so if you're not here in person, you don't get to see it. Oh, I didn't tell y'all. I think I put it in the Discord. Do you guys want to see the hammering down kit?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
What is that? I would think on what are you putting up for sale?
On Olive and York. I don't know what day they're coming out, but Olive and York is releasing the kit soon.
You get like a percentage back and help you.
I initially said no because I wanted to make it $35 so as many people buy them as possible.
Kevin's only real holdup is he doesn't wear a shirt a lot.
That's fair.
It's because people tell me to take my shirt off.
I don't get to take my shirt off.
All right, I'm going to focus up on the game a little bit, just a little bit.
With baggy jerseys.
All right, I'm going to focus up a little bit. Focus up. If you join for the last 20 minutes, it's all about mortgage talk because I'm an adult now.
We gotta go to Skywers, one of Skywers rep games. Like just show up with the drum at like a U12 game.
As Tampa Bay is again drumming up the pressure as Matthew Corcoran wins the ball back. Goes back out to more than Corcoran. Matthew Corcoran looks on the outside. He goes over to, I can't tell who that is. Oh, Gabriel. As the ball goes out to Nico, it falls down, but Juan Agudelo gets it. He is looking to cross it out wide as it goes to a Tampa Bay player as Matthew heads it, and it is back to a Tampa Bay player. Colin Smith looks to play it up the line for no one.
I'm saying you can go like Skyler because you're the cheer. Like, you do know what you're doing.
I would never do that.
You don't care who wins.
I mean,
I'm sorry, I've been told
Mackie drop still exists. As Colin Smith looks to throw this one in. Still a 1-0 game for the Three Sparks. That's Neil Collins is sweating up a storm. Ball goes in for Colin Smith. Ball goes back to Trevor Spangenberg. Spangenberg with getting pressured, plays the ball out wide and stays in to a Tampa Bay player. Headed to Matthew Corcoran, who plays it straight to Forrest Lasso. Forrest Lasso plays it to Ariel Martinez. Out to, I can't tell that, it's number 21. And Cal Jennings looks to have a shot, and it is cleared out. Matthew Corcoran with a clean challenge to Cal Jennings. Wow. Ball goes out to, I think that's Guillen. Oh, that's Antley, I'm sorry. Antley goes out over to the right side. Antley gets it as Fanwell puts in a clean challenge and does not let it go out for a corner kick. It goes back out, little triangle drill up to Gabriel Alves, who plays it up the line to Nico Brett, who goes to a Tampa Bay defender, but is out for a Legion goal kick. Lewis Hilton is fuming. Throws it back, slams the ground, asks the question, what's going on here? Where the ref said, it's a foul, idiot. And we're waiting. I guess we're just seeing what happens now. So for people, by the way, who are watching this along on Twitter, I can't see your comments on here, which is a downside to which is a downside to StreamYard. But hey, it does its job. As the ball goes back out to Colin Smith, who gets it to Grayson. As Colin Smith has a go! Philip Breno has another save. If it wasn't for Breno, Legion could very well be up by 2 or 3 goals right now.
Whatever it is, Scott's really amused by it.
Scott, can you repeat that? What did you say?
Something about sloppy seconds.
As the corner goes in, cleared out. And Enzo looks to regain possession. Goes all the way out for Grayson DuPont. And Trevor cleans up the mess from Grayson. Grayson leaving a sloppy, but it's a quick Legion attack. Out for Nico Brett! That was Spangenberg. Wow. Go. Wow. I mean, that was I wish they counted hockey assists. No, and that's Matthew Corcoran with another assist. What a finish from Nico Brown. I'm standing up. Oh, wait, the shots are coming. We're going to follow the shots. That's a brace. Brace for Nico Brett, as I need to fix this. There we go. Wow. What's up, brother? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just dragging this cord everywhere. This is ridiculous. You're a hero. I just want you to know that. By God. All right. Another tequila shot.
This shot is dedicated to Lee, who continuously caused the goal to happen.
All right. Another shot. For the Legion. For the Legion. For the Legion. Score 3 goals. 3 goals. 3 goals. 3 goals. For the Legion. It's awesome, man. Finally getting a little bit of the monkey off the back as the ball goes up to Grayson DePaul, who plays it out to wide. Plays it out wide. So I think Colin Smith plays it again to Dibba Nwigbo, who I don't remember being subbed in. Is that Dibba? Did I miss something? Did I miss Dibba getting subbed in? Did I miss Dibba getting subbed in? He did? Okay. Yeah, I was too busy taking shots. I'm not going to lie. Oh, well. I mean, Matthew Corcoran got another assist. Wonderful stuff to see, to be honest. The 17-year-old's asking price is going up and up and up with every single match. I mean, I would like to sell him because he's worth a lot of money. Huh? We can't. Let's be honest. We're not going to be selling Patrick to MLS anytime soon. He has other issues that allows him to not be sold. And if you don't get this, if you're watching the live stream, and Gabriel Alves goes off for Moses Mensah. Ball played out to Enzo Martinez. Enzo Martinez out to Grayson DePont. Grayson DePont tries to dribble past some defenders. DePont ball goes out for a throw-in. Goal kick. Okay. That was a weird camera angle. As the ball's won by Grayson, but it goes out to the Tampa Bay fullback. The fullback plays it out to Forrest Lasso. Forrest Lasso looking for anybody, really. Goes out to number 21, who's playing the right back now, out to Guillen. Guillen looks on the inside, doing the old triangle. I guess Grayson Alves is inside. I shouldn't have left to take a shot. This is not me being drunk. This is just me missing the game. This is a horrible live show experience. But ball goes up with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay looking to just get an equalizer or at least just a goal back. As Gabriel Alves chips, I think that's Lewis Hilton. Nope. Sorry, that's Antley. Antley just trying to turn Gabriel. Gabriel gets the foul on him, and Antley just kicks it. The ref gives him a yellow. I mean, it's a yellow. This is where I need one of those like boom stands. I need a standing boom stand that can just follow me, just follows me everywhere I go. As there's a Great Dane walking by. Hey, it's fine. It is fine. As there's another foul I think they're calling it onions though. I can't figure out what's going on right now. The camera work, it's really hard to tell what's going on when you can't hear it. A lot harder than you think. We're feeding dogs beer. That's what we're doing today. We're feeding dogs beer. I know, it's very official. It was only $100. Which, hey, we'll take it. It is nice. It sounds better than the old one too. So I'll take that every day. Should you get the standard, the porter? Do you like it? Sure, if you don't mind. I mean, it's a porter. I wish I got the berry cordial, and I just wish that was a little bit sweeter. Not like sweet. I don't want like a sweet porter, but I do wish there was a little something sweeter to it. Grayson DuPont absolutely just gets massacred in the midfield. He's not feeling good. Can we get an official thing where if Legion win, we get free beignets from Cafe DuPont?
That would be great.
Can Legion pull that? If their son plays, you get free beignets from Cafe DuPont. There's a really cute dog down here. I just want that. Really cute dog. There are 6 minutes of added time yet again. Devin DeWigbo filling in the spot for Nico Brett. Where are you going, Drew? Ball goes out wide to the left side. Grayson DuPont looking to defend. Ball goes on to Martinez. The team is just going full on the back foot. Devin DeWigbo, once again, just looks really good tonight. Gabriel Alves just looking incredible again tonight. This is a guy that, again, Marshall, out of that national championship squad, 10 of the 11 starters that night ended up going professional in some way. And I think the 11th starter is still in college. And Gabriel Alves has a real conversation of being the best player of the bunch. And he looks at tonight, man. Gabriel looks incredible once again. But this Tampa Bay team just doesn't look right. I don't really understand why Tampa Bay has moved away from this 3-5-2. It doesn't really make sense to me. So, for people who are watching, we're getting towards the end of the match. With these live shows, what do you want to see more of? Do you want to see more fan interaction? Do you want to hear more commentary on tactics? Or do you just want to kind of keep it the way that it is? Thank you, Adam. Where'd you get your glasses? They look good. I refuse to wear my glasses. In Tampa, 2018. Eddie Opoku. 19. 19. Oh, that was still the Hammers, wasn't it? We were announced, but we weren't a team. I try to remember like which years I was in college and which years I wasn't, because then it all kind of blends together. Like, because my freshman year of college was the last year of Hammers, but it's hard for me to keep up. As Juan Agudelo puts in another perfect slide tackle, Juan's playing really well, man. Juan's had a good season. Juan just had a great season so far. He just hasn't had the goal to pay it off. as Enzo wins the ball back as we're looking to spring a quick counterattack, but Enzo, as that has to be a foul. For people wondering, the whip it out is for a card and not something else. As for my future Christian private school, employers will know, please don't fire me. I haven't started yet. Goodness. As the ball goes up to Charlie Dennis, I just wish they haven't really gotten Lewis Hilton involved in the attack very much. It's been very confusing. I don't really know what Tulsa's trying to do.
One time. We're doing we went away.
And we are only about 45 seconds away, and Legion are going to secure this victory. The first time since our first year in existence in 2019 that the Legion have won in Tampa Bay. Wow. It's not time yet, Adam. What a game. Donuts! Thoughts, Adam?
What?
Thoughts on the game?
It was a good game. Nico played incredible. Man of the match, definitely. I like winning on the road. We need to win as many games as we can on the road. So I thought it was a good game.
Cool. Jeff,
Tampa
what'd you
really
think?
never did anything.
I thought it was an interesting way that we played that game, especially in the second half. It seemed like we sat back and we took our opportunities when they were there. Overall, coming away with 3 points on the road is impressive, especially Tampa.
We are top of the league. We are top of the league.
What do you think of the game?
I love it. 2-0 against Tampa, always a good result. No matter how good they are, I am ecstatic. It's the best start we've ever had. Let's go get in the next round of the Open Cup, boys.
Absolutely. Our next game is the Open Cup match against the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Let me do a quick little search because Chattanooga played today. Ooh, Tormenta lost 3-0. That's wow. And Chattanooga lost 1-0 to Fuego. So our next match looking very winnable. Wow. So there we go. There we have it.
Yeah, that's right. We're in number one.
We are. We go top of the league as Louisville City goes to take on Sacramento today in Sacramento. And the last time Sacramento has lost in the calendar year was the Birmingham Legion.
Wow.
The only time at home that they've lost, the only time they've lost at home has been to Birmingham the last calendar year. So Louisville has a tall task ahead of them as they go out to the Indomitable.
Somebody go ahead of us tomorrow.
What's up?
We own it.
We're on top of the league no matter what. We go into week 4 top of the league no matter what. Or week 5. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Somebody get ahead of us Saturday, theoretically.
If we lose, actually I don't know. I don't know if anybody can go ahead of us Saturday. I have to do the math on it. I don't remember off the top of my head because we play on Sunday, but I don't remember how Saturday's math works out. Maybe they can, but if we win on Saturday, who Phoenix hasn't looked amazing. If we win on Sunday, or maybe even draw on Sunday, I think we're still top of the league.
Love it.
What a time to be a Legion fan.
Year.
This is the year. Hey, if Zach Haribo left to go chase trophies in Tampa Bay, hey, I'll take this every day. You out, Trent? You out? Gotcha. Well, thank you all so much for watching. This was a little bit different. I did the beginning half of being the pre-match preview. I hope you all enjoyed that. And let me know some feedback. For people who are watching this back, thank you all so much. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for following along. And, hey, so many more Legion wins. And I will be going live at some point at the Open Cup match in Chattanooga. Can't wait to see you there. Until next time, guys.
Year, baby.
Keep hammering on.